Let's switch to some basketball rather. The USA men's basketball team will be back in action today versus South Sudan, and all eyes will be on how Steve Kerr uses Jason Tatum after Tatum was benched for the entire game in the opener versus Serbia. After the game, Kerr said he told Tatum things could play out that way with the return of Kevin Durant to the lineup before the game. He added that he, quote, felt like an idiot, end quote, for not playing Tatum, but that he can't play more than 10 players in a 40-minute game. He did say that Tatum will play today in the team's second game in pool play. Nobody trying to hear that. Steve Kerr should be ashamed of himself. He really, really should. I don't give a damn what anybody says. And his excuse was weak and it was pathetic. This is a 4-time champion. I consider Steve Kerr to be one of the top 5, top 6 coaches in the history of basketball. That's how I feel about Steve Kerr. I think he's changed to some degree. I think that he's become a bit more self-righteous over the years. And, since he's won, and it's changed his personality to some degree, but that's just me. I will tell you, I still respect him. I still think that he's nothing short of great. But to be great, to know basketball the way that he does, to be the ultimate champion that he is, and to bench a champion is egregious. Now, I saw my man Kendrick Perkins on ESPN the other day going off, and I didn't have that sound available for you. I apologize for that, but I'll echo Kendrick Perkins' sentiments because he was absolutely on point. You want to bench somebody, you could have benched Derek White. Derek White's the Division II player who's made good. He's the one that's become a really good player in the National Basketball Association. He's also a champion with the Boston Celtics. You know what he's not? He's not Jason Tatum. And I really am struggling for Steve Kerr to make sense of how you can have 3 Boston Celtics on Team USA, and the one person who saw a donut, who got 0 time, 0 playing time, and was riding the bench is the superstar of the Boston Celtics. Just paid over $300 million. Just fresh off of averaging 27 a game as their number 1 option. Has been an all-NBA first-team player the last 3 years, and he's the reigning defending champion. And the 2 players playing ahead of him are guys who defer to him for 82 games a year, plus during the playoffs, playing for the Boston Celtics. That don't make no damn sense. Respectfully, Steve Kerr is full of it. That's some straight BS. And it was insulting, and it was embarrassing. And no, you can't walk off of Team USA and go home. But I would not have blamed Jason Tatum for wanting to. You can't do that. It was embarrassing. What possible excuse could you have? Jason Tatum, let me get this straight. Jason Tatum can't play the point. Jason Tatum can't play the 2 guard. Jason Tatum can't play the 3. Jason Tatum can't give you some time at the 4. You got 4 different players on the court that Jason Tatum could sub for. And by the way, you're a champion as a coach, a 4-time champion. What do you mean you can't play more than 10 guys in a 40-minute game? Yes, you can. Did LeBron James need to play 27 minutes in a 26-point win? Did he really need to play that many minutes? He couldn't play 20? You play Devin Booker, who's a stud. I get it. You play Devin Booker ahead of Jason Tatum? Drew Holiday and Derek White ahead of Jason Tatum? You couldn't have put Steph Curry at the 1 and told Drew Holiday to sit down a little bit? Jason Tatum can't defend? He's 6'9". The brother can play. I really don't like what Steve Kerr did. And I think his excuses were bullshit. What do you mean you can't play more than 10 players? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. When your talent is that deep, when the guy you're leaving on the bench is Jason Tatum, you can't find minutes for Jason Tatum. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no team in the NBA, no team that couldn't find minutes for Jason Tatum. No team. Not one. So ain't nobody trying to hear that. What you have is a coach that's addicted to what his game plan was, and I'm going to play these starters, and then after that, it's going to be these 5 reserves. No, it doesn't have to work that way. It doesn't have to. I know it's FIBA rules instead of NBA rules, but you were blowing them out. And by the way, Kevin Durant was the best player on the team that went to Tokyo. Who's the second best player? It was Jason Tatum. What are you talking about? This is one of the elite players in the game of basketball, the world over. And this damn embarrassing Steve Kerr telling us you couldn't find minutes for him over the course of 40 minutes. Well, then what the hell you saying he going to play today for at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time? What you saying that for then? If you could find time for him today, you could have found time for him in game 1. And to walk into the equation, to walk into it, saying, yo, it's probably going to be difficult for us to find time. You have any idea how insulting that is? Jason Tatum is a superstar in the NBA. He doesn't have a superstar personality like Carmelo Anthony and others alluded to in terms of that sizzle, but he's got a game. He's a 27-point-per-game scorer. And he's the leader of the reigning defending champions, leading scorer, number 1 option. It's just what Steve Kerr did was so egregious, so insulting. You know, it's like, to me, I wouldn't blame Jason Tatum if he wanted to fly home. He got better things to do with his time than ride the bench. And it's embarrassing. And oh, by the way, damaging the one's brand. Not that we want to bring that up, but it's apropos here. It's damaging. Can't have a superstar riding the bench for Team USA. The hell are you talking about? Kevin Durant missed all 5 exhibition games. He comes out there, he plays lights out. We understand it. You know, drops 20 in the first half, hit his first 5 shots, first 5 3-pointers. We all 8 shots in the first half. We get it. You understand? Kevin Durant. It's 1-on-1. I got that. Jason Tatum swept him out of the playoffs 3 years ago. First round. Kevin Durant just finished getting swept in the first round in Phoenix. Jason Tatum, the champion. Now, that may not have anything to do with USA basketball, and I understand it, but you know what it has something to do with? Somebody deserving playing time. Who the hell are you talking about? What an egregious error on Steve Kerr. He better play him. He better play him today against South Sudan, who you beat by 1 point and relied on the greatness of LeBron James to score a point in the last, 11 seconds or so to hit the game-winning shot. You better play Jason Tatum today. There is no excuse for Jason Tatum to be riding anybody's bench. You can find a few minutes for a star caliber player anywhere. And if you can't, you know what, Steve Kerr, why don't you go home? Let Ty Lue coach. Let Eric Spoelstra coach. I bet you they'll find some time for Jason Tatum. And obviously I'm being facetious because I know what a great coach Steve Kerr is. But his actions were that egregious that it warrants him being insulted the way that I just insulted him. Why don't you go home? I promise you, Ty Lue and Eric Spoelstra will find a few minutes for Jason Tatum. I promise you that. There's no way in hell that would not happen. That's you right there. That's you right there. I mean, that's just straight up BS. Seriously.